All right, we're back broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northville. Billy Schweim, former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver and mainland product, Dave Klemick, and, of course, producing and co-hosting Nikki Earnshaw. And, guys, it's the 23rd of August. It's moving along. Summer's on. We got about a week and a half left of the summer.
Wow.
Obviously, the summer solstice doesn't end until the 21st of September. But for all intents and purposes, kids are back in school. Summer's over.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite time of year.
It is. Mine too.
Deck back. I have outdoor
Nick, we got to go watch a football game in his deck.
Oh.
And I get it back. I move all the kids' toys off for the summer.
Do you have a chimney back there? Do you have a chimney back there?
Chimney?
Chimney? Well, it's called right. Doesn't he call it a chimney? I don't know.
Chimney.
What is that?
It's a Z's.
Text it if you know what chimney is.
Chimney.
What is that?
It's like a backyard thing.
It's just a chimney.
Nah, but it's a chimney because the chimney goes all the way up.
We have there's a
I digress.
Whatever.
I'm telling you,
he's on fire today.
Listen, does anybody want to sponsor the segment called Billy versus Technology?
Let us know.
Anybody let us know. This is a new thing. We just made it up right now, but I think it's got legs.
All right, let's get to our next guest because you know what? Ever since we've had him on, he's always on Instagram saying, great show. He follows the show. He loves it. We love him. He's a longtime strength and conditioning coach in the NFL. Coach Dave Klemick. Let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room Coach Jeff Hurd. Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. You guys hear me all right?
We hear you pretty well. I can hear you fine, but we're trying to get you up on the StreamYard here. There you are, Coach.
There we are.
Hey, see that? It's better to see you.
How's my guys doing?
We're doing well. They're laughing at me today, Coach, because I'm a little technology challenged. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with a typewriter. I used to have to get out of my chair to change the channel.
Hey, I feel you 100%. I would sponsor your show of Billy versus Technology.
I told you we get one, Coach.
I could be your co-host on that deal.
Anytime, Coach. Coach,
I'm awful.
Coach, let me ask you the question because last night we're watching the Eagles game. Actually, I got to be honest with you. Like I was watching the majority of the Phillies game, but going back and forth, and but there's a lot of concern with the Eagles players with soft tissue injuries, and you're a strength and conditioning coach. And I know Dave has explained it pretty well for us, but I want to hear your opinion. Like, why are the Eagles coming down with all these soft tissue issues?
Man, if I had the answer to that, I'd probably be a billionaire. I mean, there's so many things that are involved with that. And I think the biggest thing I see going on is I think with guys not actually doing as much football stuff as they used to in the off season, I don't think they get their hamstrings stressed with resistance like another opponent or a player, or actually sticking their foot in the ground with somebody leaning on them. And I just don't think they get enough of that anymore compared to what they used to. I know you could train to run track and have your hamstrings in great shape and step on the football field.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's a whole different deal with the stressors that you're putting on your hamstrings. So, and the other thing I think that occurs too is sometimes the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. Like, what are they doing with the athletic trainers? What are they doing with the strength coaches? Maybe they're double dipping and now the guy's in a weakened state. So I think a lot of it's communication too, but I still believe the biggest reason is guys go off and work with these personal trainers, and the guys know what they're doing as far as getting them ready to play, but then they don't get enough play with football prep before they actually start playing football.
And it's Dave. It's like my brother. He works out. I see my brother's workout. He does the ropes. He does the kettle thing. He does all this working out. My brother's in great shape. Rides a stationary bike. Does the elliptical and all that stuff. But he went surfing the other day, and he's so sore, and because you're using different muscles, you're doing different things, and it's like I think you're right. Like, you know what I'm saying, Dave? Well, like you can work out, be in great physical shape, get on a basketball court. The next day, you're going to be sore.
Well, yeah, everything that we used to do would be very linear. And then when you run a route, let me tell you from personal experience how I would hurt the hamstring. You're running a route at high speeds, right? And then you make a push off your outside. You get out of your frame and run a 9 route, or
Right.
an 8 or a 7, which is like a corner or a PCP to a post. And now that biceps femoris is getting hit real hard on the outside. But Jeff used to make us do run backwards at the end of practice. We'd go, how many routes you
Oh,
have?
is that right?
And he'd go, all right, we're running 10 wind sprints for the receivers backwards, and he would have us recycle. So the eccentric is done by the concentric muscle, and the concentric is done by the eccentric. Not to bore you guys, but it was
But that's
genius.
important
It was
stuff,
like,
yeah.
so we were doing everything in reverse, and I felt like it kept our hamstrings really healthy. We didn't have a lot of camp hamstring injuries.
No, that's a good point, Dave, because I've seen guys blow a hammy out decelerating, just because all that, the eccentric load on the hamstring, especially if they're not firing their glutes well enough in conjunction with their hamstring. The glutes do a lot of it, and if they're not doing their job, it leaves that hamstring out to dry, and it's not equipped to handle your whole body weight.
We're talking with longtime NFL strength and conditioning coach Jeff Hurd. Coach, do you think that all the weightlifting? I mean, it's all good. Obviously, you need to be strong, but do you think guys can do too much of that and not enough running condition, running drills and patterns and stuff like that?
Yeah, if it's you can't lean too far on one side or the other. I mean, strength training and speed training, they develop the same neurological response. So you got to make sure you're doing your speed work along with your strength conditioning. And like Dave talked about, though, you got to run. You can't just stay lineal. If you're just running straight ahead, you train straight ahead. But if you're running routes and patterns and sticking your foot in the ground and leaning on people, you got to make sure you train your body for that too, because the surfing example you gave is a great example. I mean, you can train all you want, and then you start taking your body through a variety of different movements. You haven't trained for that.
Yeah.
Coach, thanks for joining us again today. I got to ask you about the tush push, and from your perspective as a strength and conditioning coach. I mean, the Eagles are the only team that could do it successful. Why do you think that is? Is it just because Jalen Hurts could squat so much? They have Cam Jurgens stepped right into Jason Kelsey's role. He does it well. 2, is it because they have the big guys up front and Jalen Hurts is so athletic and strong? Or is that really the only reason why they're so successful, and why can't other teams do it, from your perspective?
Well, I think it's a pride factor too. I mean, that's their deal, and so they take great pride in it. So they get a little extra push when they do it. Other teams are trying to do it. The Eagles own it, and I think that makes a huge difference in how they approach it. But I think a lot of it is, it's like any play. You practice it enough, the exact leverage angles, the force it's going to take, and you study the opponent, how they're going to try to defend it. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but I mean, it looks simple, but when you come off the line, a little bit of a 3-inch different on the angle that you fire off on according to how they line up. I mean, but I think the biggest reason is that there's a lot of pride in that for the Eagles, that they're going to make sure they get it done. It's like, stop us, go ahead.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah, try it.
Big guys beat up on little guys, right, Schweim?
Got that right. Well, and hold on, before Dave interjects, you're also getting people pushing you say Jalen Hurts squats 600 pounds. That might be true, but he also has Saquon Barkley and maybe Dallas Goedert pushing him from behind. Defenders aren't allowed to do that. It seems like only up. I say it's got to be fair. It's got to be even on both sides.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody, you just brought up a good point. Jalen Hurts. I mean, if that guy's coming up behind you to push on you, you want to have your forward momentum going forward too.
Yeah.
And if you're the guys up front, those guys are coming downhill on your back. You better make sure you have good leverage and you're driving too at the same time, or you're going to get rolled up on. So it's a matter of timing and everybody working together on that deal too.
Coach, when I was playing and I was there, I was out there from 01 to 04 with you, and I remember I learned so much, and I think our weight stuff was pretty basic, and we were way more complex with our ground-based power stuff, one of the power jammers, the things that were set to the ground. And if you think about any of your guys' strength is only as good as what you have in the ground, right? And I'm learning this as
100%.
So I feel like maybe some of the Philadelphia, some of the work they do, like that rugby type of scrum type of work, maybe where they're getting an advantage too.
Okay.
Because Jordan Mailata was a
100%.
rugby player.
He was a rugby player.
And he's probably like, guys, don't worry about this. We got to do this. And who knows if he's been part of that. But he's the only rugby player, and they scrum better than anybody.
Plus
so
he's
6'8".
That's a good point.
Yeah. Leverage is
6'8" with leverage, though.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
It creates mechanical leverage.
Well, Coach, to get leverage, doesn't low man win?
Always.
Right? I mean, that's what I was taught. Even though I didn't play offense, I played quarterback and defensive back. I didn't have to worry about that stuff. But I always remember coaches telling offensive linemen and defensive linemen, get low. The low guy wins.
Low guy wins, especially if he's strong. I mean, if you're not strong and you try to be low man, you can get accordion too, just crunched. So you got to have some strength behind that technique too.
All right, we're talking with longtime strength and conditioning coach in the NFL, Jeff Hurd. Jeff, you told us a couple of funny stories. I said to Dave, I said, Clement, we call him Clement M. I said, Clement M, man, we got to get Coach Hurd back on because because you're around these guys and you see a lot of stuff over the years. And the story you told us about Joe Montana was hysterical. And I know you got a couple more up your sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, you just see so many things go on, and I hope I don't repeat anything. But before I start, one funny story on me is, I'm supposed to look up at my camera instead of at the computer. So what I've done is I took a media guide and I opened it up to Klimek's page, his picture, and I put it up behind my camera. So I'm talking to Dave right now.
Hey, you can't let Nick Earnshaw and Clement M see how you're truly doing things, because they'll rip you. Like you know what I mean? I'm just letting you know.
I'm transparent. I feel you, Billy. I'm light years behind on this technology stuff.
So tell us a story. You told us a Joe Montana story, but tell us another story about a big name player that just totally flabbergasted, made you go, oh my God, this guy's crazy.
One that I thought of just the other day with Jared Allen getting into the Hall of Fame. I'll never forget it.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I got some stories with him, too.
I just remember all of a sudden one day it was the opening game at Arrowhead, and this son of a gun rolls up, and he was still young in his career, but obviously very talented. But he rolls up in a pink Cadillac with big old Longhorns, like a Boss Hog car.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
And wearing I don't know, Dave, I think it was I know it was a leisure suit with cowboy boots, and it was pink, I think, a pink leisure suit. And he comes busting up into Arrowhead Stadium with that thing, and I just loved it. I thought that was classic.
Well, do you remember when he rolled up in a tractor?
Oh yeah,
he drove up in a tractor one time. Yeah,
so yeah.
He tried to get permission to ride a horse or a bull, and they said no. he was like.
Where's he from? He's from Texas.
Now he's from North Dakota.
Northern California, right?
Right. Okay. Well,
maybe
they're cowboys out there.
I thought he was
he
Dakota.
Grew up on a ranch.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Idaho. I don't know, but it was definitely ranch country.
So he was. I guess he was like kind of eccentric. Would you say?
That would be a good way to put it. But he was a baller, and he did a lot of stuff. He used to wear me out sometimes. He'd call and say, "Hey, I felt like I need a little more conditioning. Can you meet me in the weight room early?" And I said, "Yeah." And we just hit the heavy bag for like an hour.
Really?
Like at 5:30 in the morning, just relentless.
Hey, Coach, who was your stronger? Who was some of your stronger players? Guys, you were like you couldn't believe they lifted that type of weight.
You mean besides Clement?
He was just fast. No, but somebody like we all talk about Jalen Hurts bench press or deadlifting or squatting 600 pounds. Like who sticks out in your memory?
There's two guys. Well, more than that. There's 24. I mean, there's a lot of strong guys, but the ones that used to just. You knew if they put their hands around your neck, they could snap it. One was Brian Waters.
I wrote it down. I wrote down Brian Waters right now. I just typed it in. I started looking. Just
scary strong, like and very functional, like farm strong. Not just in the weight room. There was a a nose guard I had with the Chargers, Jamal Williams. That guy was really strong, and he didn't want anybody to know how much he could lift. Used to crack me up. Like, we'd be on a test day, and he would wait and see who benched the most and then add 5 pounds just to beat him. Just incredibly strong in the squat rack and the bench. Chris Dillman, he was very strong.
Yeah, that's a name.
Joe Phillips, another nose guard for the Chiefs back in the day, was just that raw boned. He came from Oregon, and I think he came from a family of loggers. Just raw, just strong. Pound for pound guy, Darren Sproles. He was incredibly strong for his size.
Yeah, he was a great Eagle.
Coach, you remember J.J. Moses and Darren Sproles were first cousins.
Oh, that's right.
Did you remember
that?
Yeah,
that's great.
That's pretty cool. JJ was one of still one of my best friends, and he was like, "Yo, we used to go to K-State to watch Darren Sproles at K-State," and then he's like, "Yeah, it's my first cousin."
Hey, Coach. Anybody say that you come in and you give them like a workout routine or regimen, and they said, "I'm not doing that."
Not to that extreme, but with skeptics,
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's just they hadn't been exposed to what you were going to do either. Sometimes you get a reputation of this guy, he works just too hard, whatever. But once they bought into the program, usually I could find something that at least matched what they would rather do than what I maybe had on paper.
Yeah, because probably, being at that level, you're probably going to run into athletes that have their own routine, their own style, and they don't want to make any adjustments.
Yeah, well, Dave can vouch for this. Like, okay, Will Shields, he had some issues with his knees and his back. He goes, "Coach, I don't know. I don't know if I should, be squat heavy." And I said, "Well, have you ever done a bear squat machine?" "No, let's try that." He'd load that thing up till it was almost ready to break, or my shoulders are jacked up. I really don't want to do cleans anymore. And I said, okay, well, let's find something else to do that's explosive. So we would do a plyo box jump to a med ball scoop toss, just to keep that neurological, explosive fire going without loading them up with an Olympic bar. So there's a lot of different ways to work with guys, but you're not doing something.
Right.
That ain't gonna happen.
Well,
Plus, Coach used to be big as us.
Yeah.
He's definitely bigger than me. So you aren't going in there and arguing with the guy.
Well, Coach, I wish we had more time. We're up against it, but we really enjoy having you on. And obviously, with all the soft tissue injuries the Eagles are going through, is very informative. And thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Well, anytime. You guys know that. Miss y'all. So it's great to be back on.
All right, let's go. It's football season. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, looking forward to it.
Love you, Coach.
There he is,
Love
Coach.
you too.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, brother.
There he is, Coach Jeff Hurd on the Tom's River Volkswagen Sports Hotline. Gives a different perspective. He comes from a coach, strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, let me tell you about that program, too. My coaches, we say we love each other.
Yeah.
That's just something you don't get anywhere else
Right.
except for the Dick Vermeil made type of team.
And of course, the saying that I love the most: players don't care how much you know till they know how much you care.
Yep,
All right.
exactly.
First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with over 20 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give Chris Mooney a call in the Ocean City office at 609-399-1227. Now, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim right here